All right, I've been working on the cab today. I'm tackling the firewall. We got the floor taken care of, the rocker panels taken care of, and now this firewall has got holes everywhere. And because we have a tilt front end, I want to make it look presentable. I have a lot of holes I've already welded up directly. There were some up here that the original builder had bolted a latch to the firewall and put some bracing inside. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use some tie down hold down. So I'm filling those up where the master cylinder used to be. I had already filled that up. I've got a bunch of small holes. Some of the bigger ones, like this one here. I cut a plug, and I'm going to use a magnet to hold it, and then weld it in place. This one here, this one's about 7/16 of an inch. What I'm going to do there is back it with some copper. I have a piece of copper. This was a 3/4 inch plumbing coupler that I cut in half and flattened, and I'll use these magnets to hold it on the back, and then just weld it up. Anyhow, I'm going to get to that right now. All right, I just changed my mind on what I'm doing with this firewall. I was going to leave some of these knockouts and the hood hinge mounts. I changed my mind. I'm going to smooth everything. This would be the time to do it, and I can put holes where I want them, including this was for the throttle cable. It doesn't quite line up with my tunnel ram, so I may as well block it off and drill it where I actually need it. And the steering column, same thing. I've got for these hood hinge mounts, I'm going to use a hole saw and put some 1-inch holes here and plug those up, and plug up all these knockouts, smooth everything as best I can, and then start from scratch. All right, let's get going. All right, I'm still working on plugging up the holes on this firewall. These are the holes, or this is where the original hood hinges mounted on the firewall. They had nuts welded on the back side of the firewall. Of course, I've got a tilt front end, so that's not going to be necessary. I used I had a 1 1/16 inch hole saw that fit right into the threaded portion, and popped those through. And then I've made some 19 gauge blanks that I'm going to weld in on top. Give me enough for a skim coat of Bondo or something on top of that, and smooth that off. I got the other side done, and these are those other knockouts that I knocked out and made blanks. Tack them in. I'll be welding those up completely later. Anyhow, I'm getting there. All right, I've got most of the holes welded up on the front here on this firewall. I've also been cleaning up the bottom where the footwells are underneath, and trying to get it ready for epoxy primer. Before I go any further on this, I've got a few extra holes here that I'm not sure if I need to do something else. This hole here, right in the middle of the firewall, and this other one, they were originally for the air conditioning unit, the aftermarket air conditioning unit that the original builder had hung it there. And I'm going to see if there's a different way I could do it where I don't have the bolt holes coming through the firewall. Also, the GM steering column, there's a bunch of holes here. So I want to flip the cab back over right side up and test fit the air conditioning unit, see if I could get it to fit. And also the steering column, see if I can make a neater arrangement for the bolt through here. Oh, I also want to flip it over so that I could roll it outside and use my sandblaster to, there's these crevices in here with a lot of rust underneath the footwells and the front cab mounts. See if I can get the grit blaster to clean up some of that stuff, and around the perimeter where it's hard to sand. I need to strip this all down to bare metal so I could epoxy prime it. All right, I've got the cab right side up now, and I think I've figured out which holes I still need to fill in. Not too many, but there's a few that I'm gonna have to leave. I couldn't take it outside to do the sandblasting just yet. It's really wet outside, and I don't want to make a big muddy mess. So I was cleaning the inside of the cab, all the old sound deadening, and there was a lot of, I don't know what, some kind of thermal tape on there. How to use the heat gun, scrape all that up. I have to still go in and grind the welds on the inside, not perfectly, but enough there's no jagged edges. I've got where I had refabricated the flange for the where I had to refabricate the flange for the transmission tunnel. This area here was all missing, and that's where the big cutout was. I'll grind that smooth. I did check. I did a dry fit for the windshield wiper motor and the air conditioning unit. Everything fits in there, but I do have to leave some of the holes. Anyhow, I'm going to grind that and probably wrap it up for today. Next time I'll be doing a dry run on the putting the cab on the chassis. I'll be doing a dry run putting the cab on the chassis and figure out what holes I need to put in, mount the steering column, and make sure that there's room for the brake assembly and all that stuff. Thank you all for watching, and please comment and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and have a nice holiday. I'll see you soon.